reacting to anything today? I can't remember. Are we? I'm not Tsundere Psycho! Can't prove it. Can't prove it at all. You will not be saving Twitch. I mean, fair. Can you give Twitch to me? No, better yet, give me Amazon. Yeah, I saw that. I was gonna react to it, but I'm like, Giga's reacts better than what I was gonna do. I was just gonna scroll through it, look to the exact line, and be like, huh? Thank you for the plush, Psycho. Bruh. Alright, let's go to react. Bruh! Bruh! Alright, give me a sec. Gotta get to the react channel. Alright, guys. The great and powerful Geega. Like, this is weird.
On the new Twitch rules. Are there new Twitch rules? Apparently VTuber hipster TOS. Good. Can I be honest? Good.
I kind of agree with her. Because I feel like some models are just getting too sexual. Like, if you want that kind of stuff, do it. Do what I found out Melody does. Go to a different colored Twitch.
It's one of those things that, like, it's so hard to regulate. How do you write a rule about how much hip you can and cannot show, right? And they had a rule, but it was, like, poorly written. It's one of those things, like, all I care about is I want them to be consistent, and when they write a rule that's really hard to follow, then you just open VTubers up to problems when they get their outfits, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're constantly changing rules, that's a lot of money people have to spend to constantly change their outfit to try to fit your rules. Just make a rule. Is it weird that you're telling VTubers they have to do something like this? Yes. I see both sides. But I feel like I'm happier that they at least have a concise rule now. Because in the long run, a concise rule is going to help me out way more than all this other stuff. Well, yeah. Do flesh tubers get away with way more than they should? Yes. I kind of agree with some people's point that there's some gooners in the rulemaker staff, and I don't think they should be allowed. I think it should be spreading. I don't care that you're doing a hot tub stream. Cover your hips. Cover your body. Because apparently there are some hot tub streamers that are completely naked. Guess what? Not allowed. Ban them. I don't give a crap how much money they get you. Your rules state this. Follow your rules. Hi, Lizard. I'm not Baka!
They're not new rules. They've been TOS for a while now. Twitch just had examples to clarify. Oh, okay. So it's not. Oh, so it's the stuff that I always said. Remember when we talked about this last time? And I was like, I actually think the rules make sense and they're good. Just people skirt the line. They don't go through and enforce it. Well, now this clarification means, you know, so that's good. Attire. When evaluating reports for sexual conduct, attire is just one factor we will use in making a determination on whether conduct is acceptable. I mean, that's true. Sexual conduct. I'm
gonna be honest. Probably a unpopular opinion among VTubers. Actually, I feel like it's gonna be an unpopular opinion on both sides. Well, actually, probably it'll be a popular opinion from VTubers, unpopular opinion from fleshies. I don't give a crap that you allow hot tub streams. Guess what? If you're gonna make rules for the the VTubers for this rule, guess what? It means you have to apply it to fleshies. Because we are technically drawings. I'm sorry to tell you that for those that, oh my gosh! Boka isn't alive! Like, I could, like, especially for, like, if you're gonna ban, the virtual VTubers, the, 3D VTubers. So I want to have a 3D model eventually, yes. But, like, what I'm saying is, if you're gonna ban them for just showing hips or something, you need to ban the real people too. Actually, you need to ban them first, because they're real people. Can you sexualize a drawing? Yes. But I feel like context is key. And real people, that context is a lot more wide. That's what I'm saying. Equal rights is equal hips. That is not to say that there are VTubers that way overdo their hips. Yes, but my statement still stands. If you're gonna ban a VTuber, I better see some bans going out to real people. Because I could go to Twitch right now. Like, let me tell you, right now I could go to Twitch and find 5, 6 examples of their
It's
hips
not
showing.
just about what you're wearing; it's about everything that you're doing as well, and the suggestiveness, and you know what's the point of what you're doing, basically, right? Which is a little subjective. It's kind of hard. Genitalia, buttocks, hips, female-presented nipples, and underbusts must be covered at all times on general streams. These guidelines apply to VTuber models, but not video game characters, including those uploaded into games such as VRChat.
Here's the thing. They kind of messed up with this part. Because they said these guidelines apply to VTuber models, but not video game characters. Well, under this situation, including those uploaded into games such as VRChat, I guess that they're like making it very, very like specific. This applies to VTubers. But here's my problem with this. Again, I can go to multiple of your categories and find women where they're showing way more than just hips.
Ooh, okay, so it applying to VTuber models, this is literally the same as the rule before, so nothing changed.
And guys, stop trying to get reincarnated. Stop running into cars. You will not reincarnate to my world. God damn it.
Hips. So here's the rule with hips. Here's what it's always been. Let me clarify. The rule is the same as it was before. You cannot have fully exposed hips with no cloth anywhere on the hip. So a portion of the hip can show, but there has to be some sort of singular ring of fabric that goes all the way around in a ring, all the way around,
like
somewhere
me
on the hip area.
You see
so
mine?
if you're wearing underwear, right, and like a lot of your hip or thighs sticking out, but up at the top there's that band, that elastic band going all the way around the top. That counts because that is a circle going around you, covering a portion of your hip. But if you wore a sling bikini that ties around your neck and goes straight down your front to your crotch and does not cover your side at all, that's not allowed.
Which I should probably mention that to Soppy. I think part of her new model is going to have part of that being that thing. It's like a bodysuit, but it doesn't touch her hips.
Obviously, because that is crazy. So that's what the rule always was, and now they're just reiterating that, basically.
Which, again, I'll preface this with, well, there's fleshies walking around with the V's and worse. The V body bathing suits and worse.
Then they said not video game characters, which makes sense because you can't really control that. But then they're including those uploaded into games such as VRChat. VRChat folks are
don't go to that side of Twitch.
Like that guideline should be the same. I don't think you should
I
be
can't
able to
call
go
you
into
innocent
VRChat
if you
with
do.
a wildly more sexual model and do the same thing that you would do if you were just chatting with a 2D model and have different guidelines on your outfit, or 3D, right? Because then I couldn't do that with my 3D model if I'm just chatting, but the moment I go into VRChat, I could. That's the part where I'm like, I think they should change that. If you're going to disallow one, disallow the other, right? But basically what's going to happen is, which kind of has already happened, the people that want to do more sexualized content of their character, they're just going to go into VRChat and like dance around, straight up. Which, personally, I don't think is a bad thing. I think that content's fine. I have no personal problem.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with it. Like, really think you should go to another channel for that, but, like, if you really want to be on Twitch for it, go ahead. Have fun. Because they're allowing fleshies to do it, so I see no problem allowing you to do it.
With it, but I don't think they should, like, differently enforce that. I feel like it should be the same across the board. Allow both or allow neither, you know what I mean? I like the note. They said hip coverage is often forgotten in this rule. Please be sure that your VTuber model covers this area. Yeah, because a lot of people have these outfits that are like leotards, and the part that goes around you, it doesn't start like until your waist. Like the whole hip is exposed. Even mine.
Like, yeah, that one, that's what I'm saying. Like,
has a little bit of it, but like I specifically made sure that those lines were drawn a little lower, you know, like so that only some shows, but a lot of it is still covered because I feel like I didn't want to skirt that line. I didn't want to do it. But a lot of people get an outfit where they look like Cammy, you know, and they'll have like they'll have like the sides so high up. If we cannot functionally tell whether or not you are clothed, you're implying you're not. Yeah, this one makes sense. Zens 2.0 without the shorts will be flagged? I think so. Yeah, because she's wearing a leotard underneath, but it shows so much. It shows the whole hip, I think, right? I don't know. I don't remember. I'd have to look. Yeah, we can go over this too. They have new enforcement note on sexual content. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they say. Direct links to websites that primarily provide sexual content are not allowed in your content.
like, the people that did this were already linking to a, what is it called? It's like a portfolio or like a note card site that has all the site links to like all their sites. Does this really stop that? No. Like, Twitch, if you... The problem Twitch has is it doesn't want to outright say whether or not certain things are allowed. So, like, it becomes the problem of, like, you're just going to create more people skirting the line. Like, there's going to be more people that are like, ooh, I can go... Like, I saw in Geega's chat before she switched over, someone was like, but what if I don't have skin? Sorry, people sexualize that too. Still counts for you. Ash also cannot use her swimsuit anymore. Yeah, I think she probably knows. Which probably annoys her because she drew it and everything. The reason I went very modest with my outfits is because I knew Twitch was eventually going to start doing stuff like this. Like, I already saw, like, hints of this with the, like, uneven representation of, oh, let's ban a Vtuber for this, but not a fleshy. So I was like, no, I'm not going to skirt any lines. Like, let's draw a clear line that I'm not, that I'm above.
Ooh, if any links to this kind of content through methods like link aggregators are found, Twitch may apply the sexual themes content classification label for a set amount of time. I think that's good. I think you should be able to advertise those things a little bit hidden, but then label your content. There are a lot of content creators that do some sort of sexual content, and I personally don't think, again, I don't think it's a problem. I'm very pro, like, you should be able to do that if you want. I understand if they don't want a direct link in, because then it's hard for advertisers. That's like...
Yeah. What people don't realize is the reason you can't just have a direct link is advertisers see that. And certain advertisers don't want to be associated with anything to do with that. Is it kind of stupid? Yes. But if you want to be a part of the site, you're going to have to, like, you're going to have to keep yourself in line with what makes them money. And what makes them money is the advertisers. So you're kind of beholden to them a little bit.
Like, I get that. I don't think that's on them. They can't really control that. But at the same time, I don't think it should be 100% shut down. It should be able to, like, I don't know. Positioning your camera to highlight intimate body areas is not allowed. Prohibited example, stretching your legs apart in view of the camera for extended periods of time. Thank you, because...
That was stupid. Like, the people that were literally, like, doing sexual content on the line and doing stuff like that was so dumb. It's like, oh, let me stretch like this real quick. That makes no sense why I'm stretching like this, and, like, focus the camera here.
Something that I keep
seeing, you think you're so slick.
Like softcore content that is clearly softcore content, right? It'll be someone like being like, ooh, yoga stream, but then all of the poses are not really yoga poses. It's all just stretches that are basically meant to be just softcore, right? And I'm like, we gotta not be doing this.
Yeah, like, don't be disingenuous. Like, I hate the fake honesty. That's what pisses me off the most, is, like, disingenuous. Disingenuousness is, like, just, like, ugh, it makes me angry.
Like
it's like, oh, I'm following the rules here. Stretch. Oh, I'm not in a provocative pose, I promise. Like, what?
If they don't allow that kind of content, right? But at the same time, I don't think that kind of content is bad. It's just, like, it has to be, we have to be consistent, I feel, you know? So
consistency.
That's a good clarification. Ooh, if your channel's reported multiple times in a short period of time for sexual content or any other policy violation, this will not result in your channel being suspended if you did nothing wrong. All of our sexual content enforcements are manually reviewed and issued. Ooh.
I think that was necessary because there's a lot of people that, let alone the people that use bots to do this, but, like, there's a lot of people that are just would have used this as a way to harass certain female streamers. Like, you're gonna have to physically check those. If you're gonna allow anything, like, close to that, you need to have someone physically checking.
Okay, that's
because
good.
There's too many
that's
people
a
that
really
would
good clarification.
abuse it.
People were getting like just spammed with people reporting them for sexual
Yeah.
content, like women especially. That makes
Yep.
it worse though, doesn't it? What with the targeting VTubers accusations? No, that makes it better. They're saying that if someone is targeting your channel like that, or you're getting like report bombed, there's no automatic suspension. It just means that every time if there are a lot of reports, they're going to manually review it. Because my thought was, I wasn't sure what was going on, but I was like, I think maybe some of the issue that VTubers are having is people bombing their channels. It's like a little bit of Twitch.
It's basically, that's what I thought it was too, is I think that it was like false reporters. I think that was the new thing. Like, bots are already a problem, but I think people were going around reporting instead to harass now, since there's so much stuff that protects you from the bots now.
Not handling the stuff right and not being, even-handed in how they apply punishments. But then also, it's in people just hating VTubers and just doing shit like that. Like, part of me was like thinking that might have been it, but no confirmation, obviously.
Confirmation.
I just feel like that might have been a thing, especially with the particular people that were getting the reports too. I'm like, okay. Users can't engage in simulated sexual activity or erotic role play with other players in online games. There are a lot of small streamers that do that. Like, there are a lot of small streamers sexual activity or erotic.
I had heard this was a thing. I did not go out of my way to like confirm or deny it, but
role play with other
anyone that did this, what are you doing?
Here's an online games. There are a lot of small streamers that do that.
Which explains a lot.
I was like scrolling through the GTA category a long time ago. I was checking up on some smaller streamers on some other servers, like the ones that I don't play on, right? And I was like, I wonder what they do. And there were people like fully like sexual role play, I was like, what is happening here? And they're emoting at each other. I was like, this why are they doing this? So I'm glad that they clarified that.
What's funny about that is that's what, and it's some interesting game trivia for you. Maple used to, a lot of people in Maple used to do this. People would go thief. That's why thief was one of the highest played classes on Maple. Because haste skill made it look like you were dry humping. So you could simulate the act. Lizard. I wonder how you know that. But like, that's something Maple had to deal with it, and that's why they made it where you can't spam skills now. So no more.
New enforcement note on youth safety. Ooh, depicting fictional anime characters of a childlike appearance with any kind of sexual framing is not allowed. Splice of VTubers.
That is why Boka is slowly aging up, if you noticed.
And within games like VR chat, even if the broadcaster or the operator is above the age of 18. Okay. That's one of those things that's like subjective, but I feel like they needed to say it, because if they were going to do that and not explicitly state it, it's one of those things, like they had to be clear about it. So it's good that they're being more clear, and they're just saying this is our, our guideline on this. The line needs to be clear. Yeah, on things like this one with like fictional characters, I don't know. There's always a lot of discourse about that, but at the end of the day, I
get the point. I get the point, and I agree with it. Yeah, you should probably just put a rule there, just so it doesn't even become a problem.
I think what matters for this platform, regardless of anyone's like personal thoughts on it, I don't really care what your personal thoughts are, but like from the platform's perspective.
Yeah, from the platform's
there's
perspective.
An avatar that appears childlike, sounds childlike, depending on your voice or whatever, and then you're doing something that also seems like it might be a little bit sexually framed.
Yeah.
Someone on the outside who's like a broadcaster is just gonna think that is what that is. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna look at it and be like, well, I think it's okay because blah, 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 right? They're gonna be people who probably haven't watched much anime. They're gonna be older dudes, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, and they're just gonna think it's like the worst possible thing you can think of.
Yeah,
right?
like
so I understand the
you
platform
can't be like,
is
oh, I'm 600, because
right.
people are gonna see that, not know that reference, and be like, oh, that's a child.
Probably err on the side of caution here too, right? The issue might be their definition of childlike. Remember Australia classifying petite women as childlike. Yeah, that's the thing, is so like a lot of people personally have...
Here's my thing. I like short stacks. Another word for that is probably petite women. Like women that are like in all intents and purposes mature, but they're like shorter than average. I like them. That's just a preference. Like a lot of people, like, some people used to say that I just like children. And I was like, no, let me preface this. The maturity is the main part I'm attracted to. But I like it if they're short. Like, could I preface it saying, oh, I like mature women? Yeah, but then people think I'm talking about grandmas. So I just say I like short stacks. Could I be attracted to a grandma? Probably. Just depends on, like, how funny she is. That's why Boka's slowly aging up with their avatar. The idea was my VTuber is growing. Everyone else wants to make their character look younger or stuff, and I'm like, no. Tempted to quote what? Yeah, I like Selena. I feel like you're doing a gotcha moment. I don't like it. But if you don't remember, like all genders, so it doesn't bother me if it's a girl or a guy. That, you can? No.
Boka will continue to grow, but Booba will still be flat.
Rude! That one was no. I need to be very clear about that.
Vicious with that myself as well. Yeah, no, like I'm short.
Doctor, if you were subbed, you wouldn't have ads.
And I've complained about this before, like having people just
saying
a lot younger than I am. But yet I am still a woman, and I'm still allowed to be treated like a woman. And someone's allowed to like me. That does not make them someone who likes children because they like a short woman who happens to not look old, right? There's a lot of like nuance there, but a lot of women who are short and not minors, adult women have that issue where if they do look a little young, some people will like make fun of people that like
and I
have
hate
any level
that.
of attraction to them and be like, oh, so
you're attracted to him because she looks like a child. No,
it's not. Because if you sit there and look for like
Emergency
5 seconds, you could be like, that's not a child. like looking a bit youthful and looking like a child are very
Thank you,
different.
Kelsey.
Like, you get treated that way. People get very weird with that for sure. And the shorter you are, the worse it is. If you don't have like D cups and you're short, people are like, childlike body. And I'm like, that's like literally not it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like in real life, a lot of people kind of.
What you're saying is dwarfs and shorter women aren't allowed to be in relationships. That's what you're saying when you say that. And I don't think that's fair. Like, that's totally disingenuous, and like, you're being, like, disingenuous when you state that. It's the same people that get mad when a father is, like, a good father to a daughter. Like, they take care of them, or they're watching him for the day or something. Oh, gosh! He must be a pervert! No. Hello? You shouldn't be getting 8 ads after getting one like 5 minutes ago.
And I think
you
that's
should
why
not have
some
gotten a
people get
pre-roll
really up
ad,
in arms
Selena.
about, like, when it starts to turn into fictional characters, because now these women especially are like,
Kelsey!
what about me, and then
Go
like,
to
dudes
timeout!
that, like, have maybe liked a short woman are like, but it's normal, and it just like muddles and gray areas all the discourse there. But I don't know.
My opinion on Loli/Shoto is divisive, but I have a friend who uses a Loli character.
Here's my thing. A lot of discourse happen a lot around normies and stuff. I say normies because I'm more weeb than I am normal. The thing is, there is a difference between a loli and a child character. Loli was never meant to mean child. Okay? Lolita itself is more like a goth-like design. And then there's loli, which means, I gotta remember the exact definition, but basically it's like childlike. And they took the child part and they amplified it. Childlike is really just for lack of a better term, to say dwarfish dwarf woman without, like, some of the... Because dwarfism can appear in different ways. There's girls that are just shorter. There's girls that are literally, like... They still age up everywhere the same way, but they're smaller. You see what I'm saying? So, like... It's people that came into the idea or saw the idea and, like, changed it. Lolly is never meant to be child. And then Lolita is more of a goth-like design. Yeah, like, you're allowed to have a Lolly character. To be fair, they are banning Lolly plus sexual theme, which... Like, does it exacerbate what I was saying is the problem, where people are making Lolita mean something that it doesn't mean? Yes. But, at the same time, I do agree with them slightly in the fact that probably should just not have that conversation. Well, no, Doctor. There is... Dwarf VTubers are little dwarves. Like... the different race. I don't think there's an actual dwarfist in the I grew up, but I'm still short. I don't think. At least I haven't seen them. Or they're not, like, out there as much. There's dwarfism. There's different types of dwarfism. And Lolly is referring to the women and men that grew without growing. If you understand what I mean. Honestly, they really even shouldn't call it a different word. Lolly just came from the Japanese's name for it.
And usually are gonna look at it and be like, what the fuck is this? So, you know, that's all you gotta
She's
worry
right.
about.
People on the outside are going to look at it and not understand the context. So let's just completely not have that problem.
I have ascended.
Okay, legendary drops. We might do one more react, but then we're going to play Warframe. But, like, I'll go on to the...
He has ascended.
He has, apparently. It did come from the book Lolita. And the idea is... Lolita was more of a... design. It was not even meant to include people. It's just short girl and gothic attire. Like, I wish someone would make an actual like graph where it clearly shows you there's a line. There's a big line, actually. There's like two different things in between those two. From lowly to child. Like, there's two other categories you gotta go through before you get to that. But yeah, like I was saying, people don't understand from the outside, so just put a rule there that means no one has to explain to anyone. Does it sadden me slightly? Yes. But do I also agree? Yes. Alright. I think we go to Warframe now.